The Department of Budget and Management says a total of 5.3 billion pesos was set aside in Quick Response Funds, or QRFs, for the disaster operations of government agencies. The DSWD had the lion's share of the QRF. Freddie Abando reports.
The aftermath of Typhoon Ruby was not as deadly and devastating as Super Typhoon Yolanda, which hit the Visayan region last year. With Ruby's departure, government's relief and recovery operations are now in full swing. Budget Secretary Florencio Abad sufficient funds have been provided for pre- and post-disaster operations. 2.61 billion pesos was made available for relief and response activities. Because of this, local government units were better prepared to contain casualties and damages to property and infrastructure.
It's already December 9, and we still have about a little over 5 billion left from the Calamity Fund and the QRFs of the different agencies in 2014. Yeah. And then we have upcoming Contingency Fund, QRFs, and the Calamity Fund, which total about 21 billion. So we should be able to cover the requirements of Ruby and to some extent Yolanda.
As you probably noticed, the LGUs were a lot more prepared this time, and we were just supporting them. For example, when the alarms were raised, our maintenance crew, complete with equipment, were already pre-mobilized, so they were ready at the expected landfall areas. So, for example, within a few hours, we were able to clear the roads from Allen all the way to Borongan and Borongan to Dolores. So those were the key lifelines that we needed to open. So SECMAR was able to proceed directly to Dolores from Borongan.
Aside from the 2.61 billion peso fund from the 2014 National Risk Reduction Fund, a number of government agencies are provided with quick response funds amounting to 5.3 billion pesos. Agriculture with 406 million pesos to cover crop losses. Education is an allocation of 564 million to repair damaged schoolhouses. Health to cover services in relief centers. Defense with 448 million to cover deployment of assets of the AFP for relief and rescue. Office of Civil Defense has 765 million. The Department of Social Welfare and Development has 1.01 billion pesos for relief and temporary shelters for victims of the typhoon. The Department of Transportation has an allocation of 1 billion to restore service of damaged airports and ports. And the Department of Public Works and Highways with 650 million pesos for damaged roads and bridges. The Department of Public Works and Highways has been working round the clock to clear roads of debris brought about by Typhoon Ruby. The good news, the damage to infrastructure is minimal.
As of yesterday, I believe RoRo ports of Matnog to Allen were already operational. Now, the other preemptive action was yung mga nakaipit, yung mga nakulong na mga truck dun sa Matnog, cleaner muna to give way for the relief operations. So these small things really help, yung preparedness.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.